Hi, it's Pat Campbell, and I'm here to chat about caregiver stress, recognizing how much stressed caregivers are like the weather. Actually, we're having this week. You know, my phone was going off all day today with tornado warnings, extreme thunderstorm warnings, and we live on the Canadian prairies, and we don't usually have this kind of extreme, the high humidity. But that's not what I'm here to talk about tonight. I'm not here to talk about the weather. But I am here to talk about how this weather, stresses us because we're not used to these changes. We're not used to this kind of humidity. We're not used to everybody pulling in case there is a tornado. And as caregivers, and of course it's very unexpected, right? I mean, we don't expect this kind of thing to happen. The clouds that go, I learned a term a few years ago with the storm system, and there's something called a mammary cloud formation, and basically it looks like, a whole cluster of breasts in the sky. It's quite interesting that they should choose that name. I'm sure a man chose that name for those clouds, but that's beside the point. Anyway, but all of this is creating a certain amount of stress, I'm sure, for our agricultural community and people who live with chronic illness that don't take high humidity and barometer changes. I can't say the word quite now. But as caregivers, we have that kind of stress in our lives every single day. There are things that happen that we don't really have a whole lot of control over in terms of the people that we're taking care of, particularly if they're adult children who do have a mind of their own and have dreams and aspirations that they want to fulfill and yet don't seem to have the capacity to do that. We have stress if we're taking care of children with disabilities of one sort or another, making sure that they're healthy and happy and social and engaged in their world. We have stress if we're taking care of our parents or others that are senior to us, making sure their needs are met, that there are things in place to protect them from different kinds of abuses, making sure that they're enjoying quality of life. But all of that sandwiches us in a certain level of stress that, if we're not careful, it takes a huge toll on us. And at some moment, there's a place and time where we say, wait a minute. For one thing, I don't like what I see in the mirror. I don't like how I feel. I realize if I'm going to be here for the people that I love and care for, I have to take care of me. And the beautiful part of it is there is hope for that. I know that because I've experienced it personally, and I've seen it in a friend who has had tremendous transformation in her health, mobility, energy, sleep, digestion, the ability and willingness to take on the care of a grandchild, and that's another story. I was listening to a call tonight, a support call with regards to this business of stress. As caregivers, we get so stressed that we forget to take care of the caregiver until that moment when we say enough. And something has to be done. And the answer I found for me was a program that teaches nutritional ketosis. Nutritional ketosis may be a brand new term for you. It is a term that people are looking for. And the difference between nutritional ketosis and hardcore ketosis is the fact that we include fruits every day, a couple of times a day. We want a little bit of insulin secretion in every single day. We want to protect our kidneys, we want to protect our hormone systems, we want to protect our bodies and keep them in a state of balance. At the same time, getting that to that place where the body does switch and start using your own visceral fat, the fat that's snuggled around your heart and your lungs and your kidneys and your pancreas and your organ, like your inside, the fat that we can't see, it does turn to that for energy, and it does turn to this fluffy fat that we want to lose in order to fit into smaller clothes. That is nutritional ketosis. Does it take a little while longer than strong ketosis? Perhaps, but I wouldn't say so. And the beautiful part of it is it's a lifetime lifestyle. It's something that's safe enough that you can do for the lifetime. And, there's a boot camp phase where you stay on it until you get to the place where you're happy with what you see in the mirror. And then from that point, you go to phase 2, where you're adding even more carbs into the picture at the same time, maintaining that fat loss and that health and those inches lost without losing your hair, without having brittle fingernails, without having kidneys that are stressed. And so I just really want to encourage my caregiver friends and community that we can enjoy good health. Now, part of our call tonight, we were talking about different levels of stress and how we in this journey still find ourselves at times having to make a very conscious decision of whether or not we're going to be eating parallel sometimes to our family at the table. In other words, they eat one sort of set of foods and we eat something else. Whether we're going to give in to that dessert or that lovely bread or that whatever it is. And the reality is there are times in our journey, even in the lifestyle of nutritional ketosis, where the stress gets to a point where we think that food is going to be a comfort food. We think that eating this thing that we've said no to for months and months and months is going to satisfy that sense of, oh, I'm going to do this regardless. And it's not even necessarily a craving for, say, ice cream or a craving for bread or a craving for a sugar something that brings us to that point. It's more a matter of, in my mind, and I'll make it personal, in my mind I think, oh well, I'll just eat this one thing and I'll jump right back on the wagon and get started again. But that takes us out of fat burning. It takes us out of accelerated fat burning and moves us back into a place where we have to start from square one and wait 10 days before we get back into fat burning again, which is another whole story to talk about. But the point I want to get to here is a place where, as caregivers, taking care of our health, realizing how critical it is to be healthy so that we can carry on with the work that we are doing, to make a decision in our mind that no matter what, we're going to cross that bridge to say, it doesn't matter. It's more important for me to stay true to what I've accepted for myself and enjoy my fresh fruit, enjoy my low glycemic vegetables, enjoy my chosen meats, and just celebrate those things. Enjoy the wonderful latte that we have twice a day. Enjoy those things and celebrate those things and not feel like we're missing out on something because we're not having the ice cream cupcake or whatever it is. There's two things that happen. And this is what happens with my friend Kathy. If you go to my page, and I should have said this sooner, if you go to my page, it is on Facebook, it's called Eat to Be Lean. And I've pinned an interview there with Kathy. It's 20 minutes long. And she talks about how when she got into this lifestyle, she ate what was prescribed for her, what was, sort of recommended, not prescribed as in a doctor's prescription, but to a T. She got through Christmas, Valentine's, Easter, New Year's, all the holidays, and stayed close, tight with the program because she was at her heaviest in terms of fat, did not want to be there, was not feeling well, and had to lose some weight. And in that journey, she felt so empowered, so able to say, I can do this. This is one area of my life that I have control over. I don't have to have that sense that somebody else is dictating everything in my life. I can have my stress under control. And she had the very happy benefit of moving better, her years and years and years of a sluggish bowel straightened out. She absorbed her food well, she took her supplements well, she slept better at night, she had more energy in the morning as a school teacher coming into her retirement and now onto her new path in life. And that sense of decision making in her mind has brought her 50, 60 pounds lighter than she was. This is now, I think we're coming up to 18 months, maybe 20, well no, be 18 months because Christmas is when she started, so we're like 6 months away from Christmas. She has maintained, if not anything, lost more weight this summer, that fat loss, and is absorbing this lifestyle. It's so simple for her in terms of, you know, going into the grocery store and having a select grocery list to choose from and not having to go up and down those aisles of processed foods and coming home with a cart full of expensive foods that don't serve her very well. So my point today is stressed caregivers can have control in their lives. We can bring order into chaos in one area of our lives with a simple decision in our mind to say, it's time for me, and it's time for me because I want to be there for my loved ones for life in good health. And so I really encourage you, if you are in a place where your life circumstances just have created that whole cortisol dump, and it may not even be caregiving. It may be the stresses of being a single mom or the stresses of creating income for your families that that are necessary to educate your children or whatever it is. We all live with certain levels of stress. Doesn't matter where the stress comes from, it needs to be dealt with, and there's a way that we can get that done and enjoy good health, good food, simplicity, with those side benefits of just feeling happier in life and having that sense of integrity. And that's the other thing with this whole business of yielding to the temptation is when that choice is made, because it's a choice to, okay, now I'm not going to say no, I'm going to say yes and just, suffer the consequences, which for me last week was, I think I talked about this in another video. I had this ice cream, I don't know, maybe it was one of my lives, I don't know. My teeth hurt. It's been so long since I had sugar that my teeth hurt. It was just very interesting. But you know what? That is the real sense of how can I talk about this if I'm not being true to myself? And quite frankly, I almost feel like I need to apologize to people who I don't even know, because I feel that accountable to myself to say, if you're teaching this and promoting this and offering hope with this, then go live this life to the best that you make that decision every single day. And of course I have these last 4 or 5 days and we're moving towards accelerated fat burning again. So anyway, you can, as a caregiver living with a whole bunch of stress, get control over that stress and know that there's something very simple to do for your health. And the people who love you most are going to be your best cheerleaders as they see almost within the next first few weeks some incredible changes with regards to your energy, and then finding your clothes feeling a whole lot different on you. So anyway, I really want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel down below here. There's a red button that says subscribe. Do that. And also there's a link for my Facebook page, Eat to Be Lean. Let's connect there and continue the conversation and we will, excuse me, talk again. Alrighty, we'll talk to you again. Bye-bye for now.